Okay. So the absolute value principle, sorry, for any positive value p or positive number p in any algebraic expression, big X, so capital X, the solution, the basically are saying the expression, the absolute value is going to equal p. So if that happens, what this means is that either X is going to have to be equal to negative p or X is equal to positive p. And what we mean here is that if I said I had an absolute value of X equals 5, well, there's two things X could have been. X could have been 5, and the absolute value of 5 is 5. X also could have been negative 5. So and the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. So it's because this can happen is how we get this principle here. So what this principle is telling me is that I can extend this further. If I had, say, X minus 3 is equal to 5, I have two possible equations to look at. One is X minus 3, everything that's in here is equal to 5, or X minus 3 is actually equal to negative 5. So that is where A comes from, is that idea, like I said, that the absolute value, say the absolute value of X equals 5, I had two solutions. It's either negative 5 or 5. If we make that into an expression of X minus 3, then that means X minus 3 had to equal 5 or equals negative 5. And we can make more complicated expressions as we go along. That's where this general idea comes from. We also know that if I have an absolute value of a number and it equals 0, well, the only thing that I can put in for X would have to be 0. So that would extend to, if I had X minus absolute value of X minus 3 equals 0, then I know that X minus 3 would have to equal 0. And then the last one is that if I have absolute value equals a negative number, I have no solution, which once again makes sense. If I had the absolute value of X and I said it equals negative 3, absolute values are always supposed to be positive. There's nothing I can do to make that going to be equal to negative 3. So we're going to be working on really solving some absolute value equations, but we're going to use these principles here. So just kind of like a quick example. So you think you probably know this because you already seen it. So absolute value of X equals 6 means that my solutions are either X equals negative 6 or X has to be 6, because either one of them, absolute value is going to be positive 6. Absolute value of X equals 0, my only option is that the only thing that X can be is 0. It's the only thing the absolute value of will be 0. And then here, absolute values and numbers are always positive. They can't be negative, so we have no solution. So we're going to work on some equations this time. So A here, I have the absolute value of 2x plus 1 equals 5. And so remember, we use that one with X minus 3 equals 5. So we kind of have a hint what's going to happen here. We have two options. Everything that's in the absolute value either is going to equal 5 or it is equal to negative 5. So we're going to get these two different equations, and then we are going to have to solve them. So if I solve the first one, we're going to subtract 1 from both sides. I have 2x is equal to 4. Divide both sides by 2. We have one of our options is that x is going to be equal to 2. Which makes sense because if I have 2 times 2 plus, or 2 times 2 plus 1, that's going to be a positive 5. Absolute value will be 5. My other option here is that the 2x plus 1 equals negative 5. So we subtract 1 from both sides. We get 2x is equal to negative 6. Divide both sides by 2. And we're going to get x is equal to negative 3. This one also makes sense because 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Plus the 1 would leave me with a negative 5. Absolute value negative 5 is 5. So usually when you're solving these, you're not going to end up with two integer responses. Frequently one is a fraction, just to be aware of that. And then for B, we have 3 minus 4x is equal to negative 10. Because we have an absolute value equal to a negative, we will once again have no solution. So always be aware of that, because that is a common problem that's thrown at you to trick you, because they'll watch you try to solve it, give an answer, and then go back, go, ha, no solution. And your homework's random, so it's likely it's in there. All right, so take a minute or a couple minutes and just go through number 10 in your worksheet, A through E. So all of these should have solutions with the exception of one of them. And you should have, and all of them have 3 solutions except one of them. So you have one with 1 solution, one with no solutions. Sorry, but 3 of them should have 2 solutions. I think I said that backwards a second ago. Okay. Absolute value of x equals to 8. We know that the only 2 solutions for this one is that x is either negative 8 or positive 8. So sometimes we're going to just write my set notation and write the 2 answers, and that's my solution set. Well, let's work on B now. So for B, we have 3x minus 1. I make our absolute value bars bigger so we can tell us what they are, equals 0. So once it equals 0, there's only one solution I could possibly look at, which is that 3x minus 1 has to equal to 0. So we're saying that this part in the absolute values has to equal 0. And to make it equal 0, we need to solve that. So if we add 1 to both sides, 3x is equal to 1, x is equal to 1 over 3. C, we're going to have 2 solutions again. We have 7 minus x in the absolute value bars is equal to 9. So this is not 0, this is not negative. That means I have 2 possible solutions. So I have 7 minus x is either equal to positive 9 or 7 minus x is equal to negative 9. And then we just have to solve these. So subtract 7 from both sides. I have negative x is equal to 2. So if I switch to negative or divide both sides by negative 1, I'll switch it and I get x is equal to negative 2. So that is one solution. Oh, wait, actually, so I can put these in order. Same thing with the other side. 7 minus x equals negative 9. We just subtract 7 from both sides. And I have negative x is equal to negative 16. If I divide both sides by negative 1 to get rid of that negative, then we're going to end up with x is just equal to positive 16. So my solutions are either x is negative 2 or x is 16. And you can put those in there and see. If you had 7 minus 2, well, that's going to be a positive 9. And the absolute value, that will be 9. If I have 7 minus 16, that's going to be a negative 9. Absolute value, that will be positive 9. Okay, so if you need to, pause a minute, because I'm going to erase this. And then we're going to do D and E. So for D, absolute value of 2x minus 6 is equal to negative 10. This one's going to be pretty quick and easy. It's equal to an absolute value equal to a negative number. We have no solution. So my solution set would be this. E, we have absolute value of 3x minus 1 is equal to 7. Did we redo this one? No, we did not do this one. It looked very similar to one we had done. So we have two options here because it's equal to a positive number. 3x minus 1 equals 7, or 3x minus 1 is equal to negative 7. So 3x minus 1 equals 7. If we solve it for x, add 1 to both sides, I'm going to have 3x is equal to 8. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 3, and I have x is equal to 8 over 3. And if you don't like that answer, your other two options are 2 and 2 2/3, or 2.6 repeating. If I do the other side here, we're going to add 1 to both sides. So this is my 3x minus 1 equals negative 7. Add 1 to both sides. You get 3x is equal to negative 6. Divide both sides by 3, and we get x is equal to negative 2. So for this one, my two solutions. So you should technically always write your solutions in order from smallest to largest. We just haven't had a lot of cases of two solutions. So that's why I wrote negative 8 and then 8, negative 2, then 16. So I'm going to write the negative 2 first because that's the smallest. And then we say the 2.6 repeating. I know you guys like the decimals better. That's my other response. So just to point out here, like I was saying, make sure when you write your answers, you always write them from order to smallest and largest. Everything that we have when we have a list of numbers, or even with an interval, as we had done before, make sure you always go smallest number first, largest numbers next. And if you have like 3 solutions, you want to order those smallest to largest.